Well, don't I look a mess? A complete mess. There we are. Welcome to Saturday Morning Live with Johnyboy. I'm late as usual because I've just taken an important call and I've actually been out this morning. Hi, bud. How's it going? Good to see you. I'm going to get the comments up there now because I haven't got my glasses on and I can't find them. Let's see if I can just get that up there. I think Sick Eliza is on here. Good morning, bud. How's it going? All right, Steve? Hi, he says, yeah, all good, all good. I'm a little bit late this morning. And the reason I'm late, I've been out doing some making good for Mr. Lebon, an absolute fantastic client, and Maria. Hi, Faisal. How's it going, bud? Good to see you. And we're just putting some turf down just to make good an area. There's always those bits, isn't there, from where you finished, you're contractually finished, where you're meant to take your job to and to get everything done. But there's those areas where it needs to be addressed and it needs to be brought together. And I had to do it. It was my responsibility, so I've done it as a result of it. So that's the reason I'm late this morning. And of course, I've just had a call from Holland. I've been speaking to a gentleman in Holland. I've been speaking to Ruby Tools out there, and that was an interesting conversation. But look at the state of me this morning. I'm going to be having my haircut this morning, but this podcast is not about having haircuts. It's been hectic, absolutely hectic. I don't know what you think, Steve, and you, Faisal, what it's been like there for you out there at the moment, because of we spoke about this so many times. The BFB, hi bud, how's it going, Lee? Good to see you. Sean Potter, hi bud, how much extra height screed for block paving? How much extra height screed for block paving? Well, generally for block paving it's usually about 40 mil. Like you can play with like 50 mil, but no more thicker than that, because that's when you loses its bit of compressive strength when you're compacting it. 50 mil, no more than 50 mil at the most. Like so. Sean, if you want to give me a ring after, I can talk you through it. If there's any other block pavers on here that can give any advice on that, Sean would be appreciative of that. 8 live viewers, we've got 2 likes. If you can all give it a like now and get some likes up. It's not going to be a long live stream this morning because I've got a lot of things to do, but I'm here as usual, regular. It's about routine, and that's what we do in life. But our routine is being disrupted at the moment for many reasons, and we know what they are. And do I mention it? But we've been busy. That's what I can say. We've been absolutely busy. Hi, Grant. How's it going? Good to see you. How's your finger? Just to let you know there's Grant there, GM Landscaping there over in Thornbury. Grant's got a bad finger this morning because I told him to leave Rocco alone. And as a result of it, he's got 3 stitches in his finger. So if you ever attend my premises and you come and have a little look around, if I say to you, don't touch the dog, don't touch the dog. You'll get your fingers burned or bit, in this case, with Grant. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy at the moment. I'm looking at the board now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inquiries that I have to go and see. 6 inquiries of customers that want work done. Regardless of what's going on around the world, they have made that decision to actually, I'm going to get some light on the subject here, they have actually made that decision to get their work done and get their garden done. If you are a contractor, flat out still, says Steve, flat out. I want to see some pictures of what you are doing. Are you still working on a Saturday? Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, so what I was saying, like all those clients have to go and see, and regardless of what's going on around the world, they've made that conscious decision that they want to get some work done in their garden. They've got disposable income, and you will see across the country about mortgage rates, about gas, and about the war. We have to worry about this. We've spoke about this so many times, and we have to mention this because it's going on. We don't want to go on about old things. And, I can come up and tell you a positive story, which is absolutely fine, and we can be positive on here this morning, but there's nothing wrong with reminding us of where we are at the moment. Steve says, I'll try and stick to a 30 minute screen bar if I can. 30-minute screen bar. 30 millimeter. So, yeah. Sorry, bud. There we go. Yeah, that's what they say. No more. You want to be going about 40 mil, I should imagine, after compaction. That's what you got to think. You got to think of compaction. And it's the same old thing, isn't it? You know, when you go from one job to another job, it's always going to be slightly different. The tolerances will always depend on how sharp your sand is and what sand you're using. If any of you are watching this morning, even if you're a DIY or a consumer that is watching their contractor doing the work, make sure that they don't use any soft or building sand for block paving. It's amazing the conversations we have and these these situations that come up and remind us of where we should be and what we should be doing. And it's great because we're having conversation and it's all those top tips that we can do. 11 live viewers, we've got 6 likes. Let's see if we can get a few more likes on here this morning. I want to know what you're doing, where you're from, and what your plans are the weekend. Certainly for me, I've been getting loads and loads and loads done because I've just been getting on. I mean, I really have. I've been making full use of my days on every level, and I really have. Steve says, still looking at the plunge saw once. So you think of your one, JB? What do I think of my one? I think it's good. I think, to be honest, Steve, I've just been chatting to Ruby now. As a company, first of all, Ruby they don't even realise what they've got. Their infrastructure, their network, their support work. They've got engineers all over the country. If you have a problem, they do things beyond the warranty. There's nothing like it. It's exceptional. The expert that I've got, the reason I like that, they have changed a few things, okay? But the main thing why I like it is because it's easy to move around. The legs are good. You can flip the legs up underneath. It's got bigger wheels on it. The rail itself is bigger, chunkier, much better, but still very, very sleek. So you can actually move it around a lot more easier. The saw before, you would have to push the legs up and then the nuts used to go. Whatever we use, whatever we do, we can always improve on what we're doing. And certainly all companies can improve on their tools they're doing. Certainly if we look at cars over the years, cars have massively improved, haven't they? And cars generally don't go wrong now like they used to years ago. Though they were easier to repair, now cars are more expensive to repair. So what you find is as you improve a tool in some way, it gets sometimes complicated, but it doesn't have to get complicated, but they are getting better. And certainly with Ruby, they are improving their saws, but their network is absolutely second to none. If you're thinking about getting a saw, give me a ring first because I can advise you on there, and I might be able to get you the best price if I can get it myself for you. Sean Potter said I was referring to the extra height before compaction, 5mm, 10mm. Do you know, Sean, and thanks for that, mate, and I'm sorry if I didn't understand that, but certainly what we got to think about is that it will always depend on your sand, the moisture content of your sand again, you know, and how it will go down. What you've got to try and do is, what I try and do, if your sand is loose and you've got it tipped out roughly where you're going to be laying it on your type 1, the water is running out the sand, and even with sharp sand, you can still get water in there. It can still get squashy. If you're getting your sand delivered in bulk bags, make sure that what I always do, I always get the suppliers, and I always make sure they do it. I'll go in just to see if they've done it, is to get them put it on pallets so the water runs out, because it's just not good. So the extra height in compaction, to be honest, it just depends, you know, Sean, whether you compact the sand well beforehand and then screed off, because you got to do the final compact again after. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to get right. And have you got any edging bricks? Have you got your edging restraints set in place? That's the other thing as well. It's just about the sand really, Sean, and what the moisture content of the sand is, how much you need to go down. When you're looking at that between 5mm and 10mm, I'm just looking at what you said there. It's not a lot, is it? You know, it's not a lot between it. You know, all I would do, it just depends how severely you compact it prior to laying your blocks, how much you compact your sand, or do you compact the sand or just do it all in one go after? Good morning, team. Sorry I'm late, Mr. Roberts. Richard Dowett, it's no problem at all. It's a beautiful day out there. Hope you're good, Rich. I was a little bit late as usual. I just got back now. I've been laying a little bit of turf this morning. Yeah, so yeah, yes, curb, blocks, and all round. Sean, listen, mate, if you want to send me a picture, I'd love to see what you're doing. It's always interesting to see what people's doing. Not that I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi when it comes to anything. I am no guru whatsoever. Get the likes in, says Stan. Yeah, absolutely. Stan, I've really enjoyed your support this week. Bear with me because I've got a little bit of toast stuck on the back there. I'm going to have a little sip of this tea. Richard said he's just been cleaning out the aquarium. Rich, it won't be long before your father-in-law will be calling around to see you and you got to go. Look, listen, 13 live viewers, it's absolutely fine. That's all we need. It's going to get out there. But what this podcast is, it's regular, okay? It's routine, and it's here for you where we can discuss things and you can see with all the comments from everyone else, you can get the support that you're actually looking for. I was just saying now, just a minute ago, Richard, just before you arrived, I got 6 inquiries out there to go to. Things are still busy. Life is still going on. So there is the positive, I suppose, the positive story from this morning. Wow, for me anyway. Don't know what it's like for the rest of you out there. Phil Shaw, good morning all. Look, that's how it works. Good morning all. 13 viewers. We got 9 likes. Let's see if we can get it up there. And I think what we're going to do, we're going to have a few more people join it. People will watch this at a later date. This week, what I've been doing, hopefully this will just nudge you into dialogue and conversation. Sean Potter says, love your attitude, mate. Very amusing, and keep on it. Sean, listen, I'm glad that you're joined, because if it wasn't for you and the rest of the guys, I'd be here talking to myself, but I'd probably carry on doing it. No, I really appreciate that, and that's what it's about. It's just about being decent. Steve says, my Vauxhall Chevette was a grand car. Only had to push start it in the morning, but on the way home, it started every time. Absolutely brilliant. That's probably because, if you think about it, Steve, let me just read that again. It says your Vauxhall Chevette was a grand car, only had to push start it in the morning, but on the way home, that's because it dried out. Because it was the old leads, wasn't it? That's what it was. It was the plugs and leads. I like that. Just to let you know, Steve, I had a Vauxhall Chevan. It was a van Vauxhall Chevette, and it was called a Vauxhall Chevan. I remember I had a little accident in it, and I remember the side just caved in completely because it had all been filled with plaster of Paris and sprayed over, and it was that 1980s yellow colour. But that's what it was, Steve, when you actually think about it, your Chevette. You know, it was damp in the morning, and then when you've been driving it, it dried out, so it was easy to start. But things have moved on rapidly, haven't they? All those electric cars out there as well at the moment. Richard Day says, yeah, he comes about 11 each week, but I keep the stream running to help out and the algorithm, and then watch later. No, Rich, I really appreciate it. If you want to get him on there to watch the live stream, we want to know what his name is and what he did for a living. We want to know about everybody out there. Sarah Williams says, me and Big Paul here in sunny Cornwall. Hi, Sarah. How's it going? You're in Cornwall. You guys are just international jet setters. You're almost like Alan Wicker traveling the world. He was in France the other week. He went there again, didn't he? I don't know if he told you about that, wine. He probably flew there during the day when you was working, Sarah. Listen, get Paul to send me a picture of where you are. What a beautiful day. Sarah there. Sarah and Paul Williams of Banbury Gardens. It's good to have Paul on here. He's a great guy, great character, decent fella, and yeah, as we know, and we've met him a few times now, and he's always on the ball. So it's good to see you guys watching the live stream this morning. Just to let you know, this live stream is now actually being watched from Holland. It's being watched from America at the moment, and also being watched from France. Yeah, France. There's a couple of people out there that watch it, not necessarily during the live, but they watch it after. So if you've got anything to say to those international people out there, and you want to send them a positive message, just tell them how difficult it is here in the UK. I always wonder when we see the news and we see what's going on around the world at the moment, right, is I'd love to know how, like, for instance, the Germans, how they're getting on, how they're coping. Like, you know, are they in the same... I know we got all the politics going on here, but there's politics that goes on everywhere, and we've got this new Prime Minister and her counterpart, and it's just a bit strange, isn't it, what's going on. But I wonder what other countries, what their experience is. When we look at Holland, the problems they're having out there with the farmers, and no, not the farmers being the problem, but the government's trying to stop them from farming because their contribution to the carbon footprint that's going on there is absolutely incredible, like, you know. And where are we going to be? I seen a video the other day, and somebody said that we won't be drinking cow's milk in about 10 years' time. 10 years' time, they reckon. That's what they reckon, but there we are, because of the amount of the problems that the cows cause through dare I say it, farting. Yeah, absolutely farting. That's what they do. GM Landscapes and Design, turn the news off and life is far better and positive. I agree with you, Grant, but to an extent, do we need to catch up occasionally? I'm not sure whether we do or whether we don't. Do we touch upon the news? Do we touch upon about what's going? Maybe people have a conversation, because this is what it's about. It's about having conversation and what you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis and how things are happening. Exactly, mate. Andy Granwicks, Lee from Liverpool. Good to see Lee joining us this morning. Lee, how are you this morning? How are the dogs? How are you getting on up there in Liverpool? I was just saying, Lee, it'd be nice to know whether, all these things that we go through on a daily basis, when we look at the news and everything, we see the news and all the negative story. I wonder if other countries are experiencing the same from there as well, because what we tend to do as humans, we tend to think that it's just us. We tend to think that we're just the victims as individuals as well, and it doesn't happen to other people. But I can assure you it does. And what's going on around the world is affecting lots and lots of countries around the world. Certainly Europe's getting the brunt of it, but certainly the French, the Germans, the Spanish and the Italians will be experiencing this as well in some sort of way. Richard Dow says, any tip from anyone regarding putting in porcelain stepping stones into artificial grass? Better to lay the slabs first, then cut out the grass, or the other way around? It's entirely up to you, really, Richard. In my opinion, you can actually lay the grass from A to B, and if you have got some discrepancies, then I don't know. It's I would probably put the stepping stones in first and then lay the grass after. Richard, that's it. Bloody good question. Done it both ways. Prefer set paving first. There we are. So Grant's just said exactly the same as me. So this is what this is all about. I'm glad Richard came up with that question there. That's an interesting question. It's the chicken and the egg situation, isn't it? Which words, GM? I don't watch TV. No. Yeah, but do you watch Netflix? Everyone says that. I don't watch TV. And I'm not saying you're a liar, Bud, but you don't watch TV. But some people say, I don't watch TV, but people watch Netflix. Is there a difference? Because Netflix is on the TV, isn't it? So 10 likes, 14 people watching. People's going to be seeing this later on. I didn't use any clickbait title this morning. I just actually put Saturday Morning Live with Johnyboy, because I think it's good to experiment and see how the algorithms is working at YouTube. And just to let you know, the my numbers dropped significantly on YouTube, simply because the people that was viewing it, simply because of the YouTube Shorts, they were competing with TikTok, and as a result of it, people weren't watching the long format content, and as a result of it, views had dropped off. My views had got down at some point to 3,000 views a day. Now they've gone up over the last 30 days, 63%. They've gone back up. And yesterday, Saturday at the moment, this is live Saturday, today, this is going from 2,000, 3,000 views. They've gone up now to 17,000 live as we speak at the moment. Yesterday, the figure at the end of the day, Friday, was 32,296. Then 18, respectively, 17, 14, 16, 13. Prior to that, we were at the 4s and 5s. And then the week before, a couple of weeks before, it was at 3,500. They've had a lot going on at YouTube, and like anyone, if you think of the amounts of money that YouTube pour into their business, and the experts they have, they had a bit of a problem. They had a problem competing with TikTok. They had a problem competing with TikTok. They was doing this short form content, and they were driving traffic away from the long form content, and that's where they was generating their revenue through long form content. And that's when they was putting those ads on there, but people don't see the ads on the short form content. And now somehow, I don't know what's happened, but something is happened. Just to let you know, 23,300 subscribers. It'd be nice. It's been a slow grind, to be honest. I got to 20,000. From 10 to 20 went really, really quick. Hopefully it'll start going up again. The subscriber rate's gone down. I never put a call out usually for please subscribe to the channel. I don't think it's always, we don't have to do what everybody else do. But there we are. That's another story. So just to give you a bit of an update on that. It's good to have people joining this morning. Andy Brown, which says, I'm good, thank you, mate. Opal is well, getting a new little member to join our pack today. Really? A new little member? I want to see a picture of that, Lee. I want to see Lee, just to let you know, Grant from GM Landscapes in Thornbury thought he was Steve Irwin and decided to sort of try and coerce Rocco into being his friend, but it didn't work, and as a result of it, he had 3 stitches in his finger. Richard Dow, any luck on employment yet, Johnny? Yeah, well, nearly was. We've had lots of inquiries. What you find, Richard, at the moment, that there are people across the country that are being laid off on some of the commercial sites. They are slowing down in places, and as a result of it, there is a steady feedback into this marketplace. But for some reason, this young man only wanted to come in for the day just to see what he liked. He said he liked it, and I think he just come in for the money for the day. That's all he did, to pay his bill. Yeah, to pay his bill. That's all he done. Steve says, touch wood, I've only got to fill 2 weeks this year. Stepping stone first, string line over the top for finding your level. There we are. So Steve said exactly like Grant and I. That's where the information's coming from. Steve says, only 2 weeks to fill in. He said, stepping stones first, string line over the top and find your level. Yeah, absolutely. 25,000 next stage. Hey, wouldn't it be nice? You know, I wonder if you guys could actually share the channel, whether that can be done. Can you share this now as a feed? Can anybody suggest? Bear with me for a second now. And Lee said 25,000. I hope so, Lee. You know, and it's not about monetization. And if it was about monetization, I would have put a real clickbait title this morning. But it was Saturday Morning Live with Johnyboy. We're here for you. We're always going to be here. Yeah, 25,000 would be a good step. I just watch the figures, and it's nice to see with what you're doing and see what the reaction is to your actions about what's going on. And I wonder, yep, you can. Richard, are you saying now you can actually share this live feed now? And if you can you? Let's just see if we can get the views up on this live feed now. Or would you share it? Would any of you actually share it? 15 people that are actually watching this morning, 10 likes. Would you share this video now? I don't even know how you would even do it from this end, because I don't really watch any live feeds ever, really. I might click on one and click off, but I never watch all the way through because I'm just so busy like the rest of you. Look, I hope this channel helps everybody in some way, in some format. Just, you know, getting here on a Saturday morning, having a cup of tea and just listening to what's going on and listening to the advice that is actually being given and thrown around on this channel this morning is absolutely brilliant. So if anybody can actually share this video now, I'd appreciate it, because it'd be good to see what the reaction is from you sharing. Just shared it to my Facebook, says Richard Dow. Richard, this is the question, mate. This is the question. You've shared it to your Facebook. Could you share that live stream to a group, for example? 18 live viewers. It's amazing now, we see how it works, isn't it? We can see how it works. We've had a bit of a result. We've actually, if you look, Rich, now, it's gone up to 19 viewers now. Richard, I think you've had an effect on this live stream this morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Live. We're going to get on with this morning while the guys that are watching this now get this live stream out. There we are. The numbers are going up, 21 live viewers. We're talking about all sorts of things. And one of the questions I was asking this morning is that sometimes in life, we feel that we are victims. And at the moment, we probably think in this country, because there's lots of things going on, I'm going to say it, with the oil and the energy bills and the politics and the war going on. And it just seems that, that all these things going on that we think is just us here in Britain. And but believe you me, it's not just your house that burns down. Sometimes other people's houses burn down as well. And certainly at the moment, what's going on around the world is absolutely incredible. But I was just saying, I'm sure that in other countries, other people are dissatisfied with what's going on with the news and the negativity. It's been such a long time, hasn't it, since we've been able to turn the telly on and there's a good story about sport or a success story, and we don't seem to have that. And a lot of people are saying now this morning they don't watch TV. Andy Works Lee says, I'll send you a picture later, getting him at 5 o'clock. So it's a him. Benny, his name, and Grant learnt the hard way like most. Yeah, I'd say what, Grant. Ryan was really good. Lee was a bit of full on. He waited a while, but he did stroke. Rocco used to go to Lee and he used to stroke him, so it was interesting. Richard Dow said, share to a public landscaping group. Thank you for that. It's good, isn't it, Rich, when we actually think how it works. Jan Coran is just joining us, sick of lies. Hit the likes, he says. Good morning, Jan. Jan Coran, I hope I said that correct. Where are you watching from this morning? It's amazing how this live stream goes out. And guys, I'm just going to remind the people actually joining is that this morning the title of this video was Saturday Morning Live with Johnyboy. It wasn't a clickbait about anything. I don't ever intend to do that, but maybe whether I should put a title. If anybody would like to choose a title for next week, and something that you want to focus on and talk about, let me know. But Jan, where are you calling from this morning? Steve, have you had your breakfast this morning? That's what I want to know. I've been working down in Porthcawl this week. We're laying a limestone, an Egyptian limestone, 3 cm. It's quite heavily. It's quite heavy and thick. We had Grant there for a day and then he disappeared because he was tired because he had stitches in his finger. Jan Coran says, I am from Wrexham, Wales. Well, there you are. Good to see you joining. Jan, if there's anything that we can help you with, if there's any questions that you want answered, there are plenty of landscapers on here at the moment. Nicholas McCartney's just seen it now. Nicholas McCartney, usually you can share to a choice of avenues. Thank you for that, Nick. We haven't spoke this week. It'd be good to speak to you at some time. I haven't got the phone set up this morning for you to actually call in this morning, so I won't be taking any calls. It's all been a bit of a rush this morning. I've been laying some turf this morning, Nick, for some lovely couples, Alan and Marie down there in Cardiff. Jem, morning from Cheshire, John. How's it going, bud? Good to see you on here. Glad you've actually joined this morning. Looks nice paving. Yeah, Lee, would that be your choice? That's what I was thinking on the way back, is that when we look at paving, how many of you guys actually advise customers of what, though you're a landscape and you're installing, do you have to choose what colours they have and the texture and the look of the paving? It's an interesting one here. Are you a landscaper or are you a designer? This channel is not just about landscaping. It's here to support you and talk about anything else that you want to talk about. There's no problem at all. Jem, I hope you're busy up there in Cheshire and you're still moving on with it. If any of you want to give me a call today, I'm here, I'm available, I'm not going anywhere. You can give me a ring on 07795 595 994. If you have a problem in any way, if I can help or point you in the right direction, I will, without a shadow of doubt. Everybody wants grey here. Yeah, they do. They do. I'm glad, Steve, his contribution is second to none. Everybody seems to be going for a grey contemporary colour. But you know, Steve, I think it's going to change. I really do think it's going to change, because I think there's almost this stereotypical modern contemporary garden, and people are moving away from that simply because they know that they don't necessarily want a Love Island style garden where everything's square and flat and one colour looks very, very clinical. The beauty of porcelain is that they are able to produce anything and replicate anything that's out there. And what I've found lately for me is that they've moved away from the long linear style of porcelain and going back to that bigger square format, but bigger, the 800 by 800s. And I know for a fact, and I've seen somebody laying them, but 1.2s by 1.2s. And yeah, you think 4 feet by 4 feet. But what you'll find is that if you use a bigger unit in a smaller area, it'll make it look a lot more spacious and bigger, and it works perfectly. Yeah, nice to see grey going down, says Lee. That's his choice of colour. Black border, grey and black border, beautiful. Looks modern, contemporary, neat. Don't you find that porcelain has got lots of minimal maintenance, but we have to think about the grout system as well. Grey on the way out, says Nicholas McCartney. There we are, a bone of contention. This is what it's doing. This is what we do. We provoke dialogue in a positive not a negative way, and see what people say. Steve says wood effect. Yeah, I think wood effect is coming in, and in different colours. Wood effect. Nicholas McCartney, what do you actually think of the wood effect porcelain? They're able to replicate anything out there, and is it better they're actually making porcelain or digging the natural stone out of the ground, Nick? What do you actually think about it? I see a lot of the Indians and the Turkish countries, in Turkey, can't get my words out this morning, producing porcelain now because people are steering away from the natural stone. Bringing natural stone halfway around the world seems crazy. The same as about porcelain. But the beauty about the porcelain, you can get it in Europe as well. That's the other thing as well. How good is the Turkish and the Indian porcelain? And do they make it anywhere else? Further afield. Be interested to see and hear your point of view on that. Richard Dowd says, I'm going for a beige coloured porcelain and natural fence panel. Sick of seeing bodge job grey fences everywhere. No sheep mentality. There we are. You don't have to be sheep and follow what everybody else is doing. Stan says, will companies print photos on them? That would be fun. Yeah, they can do. Do you know, Stan? The technology is now they can do absolutely anything. They're digital prints anyway. Yeah, they can do absolutely anything. And it's funny that you say that. I think that there will be eventually a time will come where people will be actually. You'll be able to go to a company and you'll be able to get a pattern bespokely for you for your garden. You could have a picture of somebody on there or your favourite place and maybe put it down as a puzzle. Wouldn't that be interesting, wouldn't it? Like a puzzle. So you actually lay them all in a pattern to actually create an image. Yeah, they can do it. There's no ifs or buts about it. It's simple for them. It's digital printing is simple. Not going down, get your glasses on. Not going down, get your glasses on. I am. Yeah, I am. I am going down and going down fast. Stan says, got to be digging, best option. Concrete releases so many CO2. Yeah, I get that, Stan. I really do. But just imagine if you think, I don't know, is it more in production to produce the stone coming out? Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, it's got to be better for the CO2. Have you seen? It's funny, Nick. Is it the polony tree that they're actually using there? The polony, is it polony? Am I talking a load of moody? Polony? Let's have a look now. Just have a look now. That tree that grows big and actually soaks up all the carbon. Polony. Is it polony or polony tree? Nick, have you seen it? The polony tree. There we are. I don't know. No, yeah, that might be it. There we are. So there's this tree, Paulownia tomentosa, and it really sucks up the carbon. Yeah. So yeah, have a look at that. Check that tree out. It's interesting, and that's what we got to do is start planting. Not saying that's all we got to do. We've got to start planting more trees. 15 live viewers, 12 likes. Good to have you on here this morning. Absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. Mario Rizzi has joined us eventually. Good morning, Mario. How are you? Sorry I'm late. Just out quoting on a Saturday morning. I'd buy off Mario without a shadow of doubt. If you come in and give me a quote, I would buy off him and I'd make him a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich. Okay, I would make him a bacon sandwich. Steve says, can't beat Italian porcelain, in my opinion. No, I think you're right, Steve. And they say that the Italian and the Spanish is good because they've been doing it for a long time and it's not far away. So I think ethically it makes sense to actually order your porcelain from these countries because it's not far for it to travel. Richard Dowd says, please stop worrying about the carbon narrative. Why? I'm not worried about it, but it gets spoke about, so it's a topic of conversation. What we were talking about this morning, Mario, whether you can share this live stream now going out. We've got 12 likes, we've got 17 viewers, 18 viewers now. Just give it a like. It's just part of the control mechanism. Interesting. There we are. We could get into one of those now, one of those conversations, part of the control mechanism. I think they do try and control us to an extent, and I'm not sure about all of it though, Rich, to be honest. I don't necessarily buy into everything about it, but certainly I think there's a lot going on at the moment when it comes to the money side of things, isn't it? They want us to buy in a certain way. They do want to control us. Here, says Rich, says Steve. He says, here, Richard. It is part of the control mechanism and about around the world, about what we're doing. just got to watch it, haven't we? And see what's happening and just keep an eye on it. And but they'll just deny it, won't they? They'll just deny it. Well, guys, there you are now. I've got a lot of things to do this morning. I want to keep up that vein of like moving on and getting things done, or what I need to do here, because I can't do them in a week simply because I've got so many things to do. Lots going on for all of you at the moment. It's a beautiful weekend. You're already sat in an office or on your phone watching me on this live stream. You need to get out there, enjoy the fresh air and the sunshine while we have. It's amazing. It was a little bit cold. That was the coldest it's been this year so far, in my opinion. Well, approaching this period. It was very cold this morning, but the sun's out now, and I'm going to get out in it. I want you to have a great weekend. If you have any problems, just drop me an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. If you want to send me a picture of what you're doing, I'd love to see that. Grant says, I disagree with that. It's having a massive damage ward. I disagree with that. It's having a massive damage ward. I don't know what you're referring to there. If I said something, I'm not sure. Grant, give us a call. I want to discuss that with you. That's it, guys. The live stream's over this morning. I want to make use of that sunshine while the sun is still shining. Have a great day. I might just make it to the wood suppliers. I'm not sure if I am or not. I'm off to lay some bricks. See you, JB. Bye all. On the world. Yeah. I don't know what I said, Grant, so you can disagree with me. It's no problem at all. I can take it. Polonia sucks up loads of CO2. Yeah, interesting. Nick, you should do a little post on that on the group. See you all soon. Thanks, says Richard. Have a great day, Lee from Liverpool. That's it. Have a great day. Thanks for joining. Really enjoyed having you on here. Just be safe, whatever you're doing. And if you can't say anything nice, just don't say it at all. Have a great day. See you soon.